brand is not what you want it to be. It's what other people rely on you for. So I do love the notion that, so David Ogilvy, who's the, I don't know, some people call him the father of advertising. Ogilvy and Mather was my first internship in college. He described brand as the intangible sum of a product's attributes. I think of it as like the whole experience. It's like how one of my clients would explain Fitting Room to me, right? It's not just like the name, right? It's the...
So is it the logo? What are we talking about? Is it your...
Well, there's the expression of the brand, which is typography and logos and colors and photography. And then there's like the brand promise. And that's, I feel like, what you have to really understand in times like COVID to be able to keep delivering. Like if you can't deliver in the way you've always delivered, and you don't understand what your clients rely on you for, to me, that's the brand. So for me, like, we had to have a two-way interface where my trainers could see the clients and give them form correction and talk to them, and where they could talk to each other, because I knew that our brand was not just about a great workout. It was about like the whole community-based aspect of it, and like the actual humans involved, whether it was the human next to you in class or the person in the front of the room. Like both of those things I know to be equally important, watching our community like in studio interact, and then seeing like the friendships that form. And it's not just about like the workout that's written on the whiteboard, which is why we let people take pictures of the workout all the time and post it on social media. Like that's not the magic. Like that's not the intangible of the brand. That's the product.
So as you've said, you did an internship at Ogilvy, you worked at American Express, you worked at Pepsi. You're not a trainer. You're not the typical you don't have the typical studio owner's background and profile. And you're saying that branding and the building a brand, you think, has been critically important to Fitting Room success. What specific actions can a studio owner who is a personal trainer, who didn't go to Harvard and Wharton and work at these world-class companies, what can they do to enhance their brand?
So I would say, and by the way, I would say all of my trainers are their own brand in addition to living under the umbrella of our brand. So I think everybody should think about building equity in what they deliver. So I would say, if you don't know the real reasons why your clients spend their time and money either at your studios or consuming your products and services, ask them. Like, it's that simple. You could do a survey. You can ask, include your employees in the survey, because your brand is not what you want it to be. It's what other people rely on you for, in my opinion. And so all of this, of course, is my opinion. But the easiest way to uncover that is just like asking it. You could do a survey, and once you understand why so as people choose to spend their time and money with you, they're making that choice for a reason, right? It's a crowded marketplace. Then you can align all your messaging with whatever insights you uncover. And if you already know the reason, then I would say, look across all your consumer touch points, whether it's merchandise you sell, what your studio looks like, any piece of collateral, your website, and make sure you're being consistent with your messaging, with the visual representation, and be really deliberate with your wording and your imagery and everything you put into the world. So like when I'm reading copy for like a social media post or a blog post, or looking at designs for merch or something in studio, like I always ask myself, could this come from another brand? And like, if the answer is yes, like somebody else can say this, or this looks like it can live in somebody else's space, then we shouldn't launch it. We shouldn't put it into the world. Like we need to do better. And so I think it's like those simple sort of like checklists and questions. If you think that the headline on your website could be the headline on 100 other people's website, then you haven't uncovered like your unique selling proposition yet. So keep asking.
So you are using the resume test, is what I call it. If you can replace your name on a resume with someone else's name, then you haven't sufficiently distinguished yourself.
Correct.
Do you have a favorite? Is there a go-to branding book that you might recommend to someone, or a book that was really important to you?
That's a great question. So, I mean, I love Steve Jobs' autobiography. That for me is like, super inspirational.
Okay, excellent.
But also in this space, a bunch of people who love fitness, like Shoe Dog.
Hey everybody, Jessica LaChance here. Do you want more business education for your fitness studio or wellness business? Subscribe to our YouTube channel or our email newsletters, and we'll see you here soon.